Thing. Hey, this is Frank. Late at night, didn't sleep yet. Day 5 passed, it's completed. We are going on to day 6 now. On round 4, and you know the first sign of stomach, yeah, that sense of feeling full and bloated. Plus, the intake of this medication has become more regular, has increased. Nausea, not really. Nausea is still staying away. I have to pinch my eyes because of the flashlight. You see the shadow of it, and I hold my hand in front of it. So, what can I say? I played a game, watched videos, edited videos. Now that the light is indirect, it's better. It's not as red as the first few videos when I was sitting in the dark, staring like some Terminator-ish look on my face, as if I'm wearing sunglasses or something. That's how I saw when I came home. Even before going to the hospital, the first round, that was really awful. And when I looked back on my videos, I really saw someone that I do not recognize. My brother, Chris, saw as if he saw his mom, and I saw as if I saw my dad. It's coincident? No, it's not a coincidence. Getting watery eyes. You know, I'm still doing well, even on round 4. Yeah, I can still lead a normal life, as if I was not on chemo. I'm not looking that great because every time I go down, I start to feel I look worse than I truly feel. There are some things like, oh, do I really look that scared? I must look bad. But just for the information, I cannot get my words easily out of my mouth because the prednisone is not present in my body while I'm on day 5, because it wears off during during the day. It tapers itself down until I can sleep. So I have to stay overnight every time before I go to sleep and make it later that day. And soon 10 days or something, 9, around that course, I have to readjust my bedtime, which isn't easy for me. I talked with you about this earlier in the previous video. Well, I'm relaxed. I've just quitted gaming and playing still this Eden Island. Planning to buy a realistic life simulator sandbox open world type of game that has more to offer than Bomb Simulator and my gaming club gaming simulator, for where people come into your shack or club and start to pay each hour that they play games. Yeah, a little gaming club with a little music box and some air conditioning, some wallpapers to lay on. That game that I'm planning to buy is actually more, yeah, it has more value, it has more variety. You can do more, you can bake your pizzas, you can do some little criminal stuff in the game, like moving boxes, hacking into computers. I saw it doing what Fluffy Sword was doing that. And I thought, Fluffy, Floppy, sorry. Why do I call you Fluffy? He's my best streamer, he's my favorite streamer on YouTube. I really watch him, and I'm even prepared to make overhours just watching him. Sometimes suffer unnecessarily, dying every time just on Icarus, continuously fighting that bear and dying together with his mate. And I think, oh Floppy, come on. Why don't you fix up base or do something else, craft something more powerful? I'm playing Icarus myself too, but Red Dead Redemption I never played. So about gaming, yeah, it's still an escape of reality, but as soon as you start to come from your PC, you walk like a Jack Sparrow type, like drunken man. And, well, yeah, that's what it is. It is what it is. But yeah, it's fun. It's really fun to watch people game and having fun. Some sort of escapism. Because the real world can be boring unless you do some outside activities like walking. I did an extended round today just to go to Linda's Mill. It's a 3 kilometers, 2 or 3 kilometers walk. So that takes me half an hour or even more just to get myself walking. The recommended daily dose walking is 1/2 an hour. But in the earlier days when people had to scavenge or forage for their food, that was more intense. People lived healthier back then. But right now we have the supermarkets. We have made it easy on ourselves, unnecessarily comfort. Because I said it earlier in earlier games, games. Stupid gamer brain. Not again. In earlier videos that, the free land that we actually should have. Even when it is a community type of soil that you can get, where you can plant and literally eating what you grow. That would have been a better idea. Getting some honeybees, a beehive keeper that makes the honey. But still, it is refined. It's not refined. Wait a minute. It's not a refined sugar. It's actually healthy. I'm not looking in the camera, I know. It looks weird. Myself a little bit away. Similar as if I'm in some kind of autism state. But this is how I look. I look at my screen, but slightly look away. That stare in my eyes says something like, yeah, you're nearing your, that deepest point after 1 week. And then after that week you climb back up. Just I explained in earlier videos, the first 2, when I was on round 1. I mean, it's literally that I didn't foresee going from a 30-day fast straight into chemotherapy, which were the last 2 days were my finishing of my fasts. And yeah, in general terms, I feel still good, even though it's now late. Feel a little bit like WTF, wobbly, because of gaming. Sat there for 2 hours again. Oh, gaming is addictive. Walking too, but it's more like you really achieve something. But in gaming, not so much. more or less than if you do real stuff. But what am I going to do with my boredom? Well, gaming is an option. And the only thing that I really drink is water. There's no coffee, there's no tea, still on water. To be honest with you, it's boring somehow. We get the camera a little bit. Is it this way? Yeah, it's just this way. If I look at this, I look straight at the camera. And I have to do with that picture. Playing a little bit while I'm recording myself. Well, day 5 was good. Day 4 was good. Yeah. Waiting for day 6. I'm all down 1 prednisone. I'm on 4. Tomorrow will be 3. Just tapering down is better than just quitting and get a shock or a crash. You can do nothing. No. It's 11 minutes that I'm in the video now. Nothing but boring, babbling content instead of showing you real pictures. I know when I'm going to Cube during chemotherapy, I feel some kind of narcissistic. Can't help myself having that thought. It's like you going to a cubing competition during chemo. That's my world. That's how I view it. Doesn't matter how other people view it. I like their opinions, and I want to listen to their opinions. Yeah, let everyone be in their own value. Let go, and let God. Hey, I was on Church of the Eternal Security tonight too. The first thing that I mentioned were that I had a praise report to bring up. It still does count. And my cancer is almost gone. You can see it on my neck, it's really starting to become skinny. I really lost weight I cannot even recognize. That's why I'm so light-footed and as if I carry nothing on my body. But I feel light as a feather. When I was clumsy and fat, I really had needed to drag my body around. And then you get a lymphoma, and then you become really weak. And then you start your treatment, and then somehow, after losing weight and getting back into eating and leaving the alcohol for what it is, your life changes. That's a shock at itself. But for now, I'm somehow different. I'm more self-assured, more assured of myself. It's a gift. It's a gift. It's also a gift of God that you trust yourself, that you value your life a little bit more. Jesus did all of that sin saving, that eternal life giving. You only have to trust on Jesus Christ. That's all you need to do. If you don't trust Him, who else can save you? Can you raise your own body from the grave? No. Jesus. The same Spirit that raised Jesus from the dead will raise you too. Fair. It's written, I believe God at His word, because God is not a liar. Otherwise He wouldn't be holy and true anymore. But He's holy and true, constantly. So why not surrender and believe on Him? It's going to be rewarding. And if you seek God and with all your diligence, you get your rewards already here. Because it's written, He is a rewarder to those who diligently seek Him. I sought the Lord when I was in trouble. And He also rewarded me. For the example, having my doves, pigeons, tame. Yeah, I need to budget something, you know. This is another subject because I bought a pigeon. I needed to buy this pigeon feed because I love my pigeons. I really have some type of a connection and a bond with them. They're so cute. I cannot just leave them at their own. And they show me love back. They fly on my hand. I did not record that. You know, the best stuff will always happen without camera. Yeah, it's a sign, but there's one thing I need to say to some of my viewers. I'm slightly disappointed that you skipped the best videos, where there's 0 views on it. Why is this happening? The best videos are not watched. I really need your help, guys. Give it a try. The videos that had 0 views are actually the best videos. Come on. I need your help too. I'm asking humbly. Please give it a try. Second time that I asked this. But asking money, it's not necessary yet. I will ask it only when it's really necessary. I still have my cookie jar, my backpack for my curator. Curator, you know, that one who does my financial stuff. But he's on vacation right now, and I don't trust that other staff. Because my personal financial supervisor is the one I really trust. He's back when my chemo round 4 is almost done. He's back. He will answer my emails always immediately. I bought the 9x9 cube and I'm going to practice this for round 5. I want to impress people. I'm going to get straightforward to this. I want to impress. It has become some kind of a good but yet a little slight bad habit. It is still better than drinking. Yeah. Guys, I bid you farewell for now. It's over 18 minutes that I do my videos, and long videos are not as appetitely like the shorter ones. Yeah, that's what it is with YouTube. Long videos, boring talk. It's not going to give me any thumbs or views. But still, there are things that I need to say to help other people, giving my story out. Chemo doesn't have to be going this way. Chemo can be done also in this way. If you exercise, keep yourself occupied, and take your good foods. Watch on YouTube on other channel what people would recommend you to eat during chemo, and especially walk. If you have pain, you know that your muscle is actually asking for exercise. And the pain in my back is receding, luckily. Even that became better. My light sensitivity is less. You see my eyes constantly opening. Except in the beginning of the video, and I had to look straight into the lantern and the flashlight. And with that said, yeah, it hurted my eyes a little, but now it's okay. Come on, man, this is 800 lumens that are shining in my face. Give me a break. I bid you farewell for now, and I see you the next day. make 3 videos, and then I will compile them in one format, and I leave the stuttering out. Okay, you guys, I wish you a good night. See you the next day. Well, the next day. It's day 6. Yeah, last night I reported on how I felt. Still have some heartburn in my stomach, and I rather think I want to get a bottle of Gaviscon. I don't know. But here's the subject for today. Why do I need a psychologist that works and operates in this neighborhood? Okay, here we start. It is not that I have real issues with my psyche, but there were shadows during round 3. I mean, the shadows that are mostly cannot be comprehended by normal psychiatric patients. Because of a chemo brain, you can do stupid things. And the stupid things is like paying no attention, getting distracted, and accidentally throwing away your wallet while it is in the underground garbage bin that they have to lift up. And that thing is 3 meters, maybe 2, I don't know, maybe 4, under the ground where you can get your dumpsters done. So it happened to me that I was dumping my wallet inside a box that I wanted to throw away, and I forgot to take it out. Whoops, big problem. Yeah, I need to say the bad things too. So what went wrong all the time? Okay, here we go. Mistake number 1. I forgot to turn the water off during round 1 on my balcony that my neighboring that is living on the first floor complained about the water. Oops. Right one day after taking all the prednisone. Here we go. Second mistake. Leaving the hospital against medical advice. I had my micro sleeps, and I was getting home with a taxi cab. Okay, mistake number 3. Throwing away your wallet. Yeah, that was throwing away your wallet during round 3. I phoned them, and they turn out that I have to pay some kind of bog, something to it, to get my wallet back. But I had to climb up another way. So I thought to myself, let's teach them a lesson. Let's trash this underground thing. So I took my hammer to see on how solid that thing is built. But before I know, it was already trashed. What needed to happen to be was that children were witnesses. Oh, can't do that stupid thing, but my mind went like, I don't care what people think about me, I'm not caring about anything at all. The message has to be sent. Mistake number 1, coming back to get some of these stickers like, you were too late, I was too early, some kind of stuff like that. The psychiatrist came because I was tired, really tired, that all the government instances, these little workers, are actually not doing what they promise. And I'm really tired of cooperating in a sound way. So I thought, let's send them a message that they never forget. Even my whole neighborhood was coming against me. So you will have a picture on now how how it all went down south that day, that fateful day. I call it a fateful day because my repertoire is changed from 100 to 0, just for one day. And then in the middle of the rain, the container started beeping, and the whole neighborhood wanted to trash that thing themselves. So, yeah, they wanted to trash the thing. They said, if you guys don't come today, we are going to trash that thing ourselves so that it stops beeping. And they came and replaced it. These underground containers need to be replaced this next year. It's rainy outside right now, but there's no beeping because it's all fixed. Thank God. So the police that came to my door didn't arrest me, luckily, by the grace of God. I told them I went south. People were even more stressed than I was because I wanted to send a message. Don't come too late when customers are asking for help. But I was given no help. It is as if the world really ignores me, hates me, but still they deny their hatred. They come up with something like, yeah, you know, he should have called us, and yeah, I did that. I even called the fireman. But they didn't come. I was shouting, passionate, helpless. Come and help me out. Nope, they didn't come. So it provoked me indeed to do stupid things. But then one of the co-workers, hold on, asked me, why do you have this? I'm a carpenter. I fix things like the doorknob, you see. All the doors need to be changed. This one is silverish. This one. And then this Jerry, he asked me a question. Why do you have this thing? You know, here's Johnny. No, not for that reason. I thought to myself, if I'm going to be forced to leave my home because I don't want to take the mark of the beast, I need to chop down trees to build a little shelter each and every night and make a campfire. Hunt for things. I simply explained to him I was a believer. I am a believer. Was, it doesn't matter. Jesus is faithful. Hold on a sec. That shot that you experienced was just a pausing of the video. I had to blow my nose. Because I cannot do the whole time during the video. So yeah. Now I have these appointments with the psychologists that can help me out. Getting my floor cleaned. See there? Some little crumbs left. Well, the bird, Jacob. Let me take it with you. I hope that I can aim it right from this side. Jacob is right there. See him move? Yeah, that's him. He's getting his wife in 2 days. I hope they will forbear one another and mate and lay eggs and make youngsters. I'm almost out of bird seed. And the next delivery will be, I guess, in 2 days, together with the pigeons. Pigeon, female. So that Jacob isn't alone. And taming the birds, I stood up this morning with the birds. They are so cute. And it turns out that my psychological worker here in this neighborhood has the same hobby as mine. And they can even help me by providing me information or asking me to muster up some discipline to get a new passport and to make photos, go to that house or that house, one office building after the other before I can go finally to Amsterdam to get my passport. Yeah. So that's what is in front of me. And then I can get my license to stay in the Netherlands. Because we need a visum and a passport that is visum, I'm not forced to labor. I don't need to go to school anymore. I want to be a normal law-abiding citizen. As long as I can. As long the government is kind and even though in difficulty, even though in inflation, it's still is a matter of how much can you tolerate? How much are you willing to do to get your life back as it was before, like the new normal? Well, I am someone who rather likes to sit behind the scenes and watch it all unfold as an observer. Eagle do observe. I am an eagle. And the Lord tamed me like a dove and turned me to an eagle. That's why I'm an eagle. Observing and striking whenever necessary. That does not mean violence in human terms or in strength. No, it's by the Spirit of the Lord. It is already promised that we get trouble, that we should have much trouble, that we will have trouble on this world. But we must be cheerful and courageous, because He has overcome the world. But back to basics now. I'm still the better version, in spite of these little accidents. I'm still doing fine. Accidents can happen, but these were bigger than normal ones. It took me some adjustment to say these little children were not meant to see that. What Frankie is gonna do. And I'm not a criminal. I'm somehow a little bit nuts, till a little bit crazy sometimes. I can be in my carnal flesh in such a way that I can turn from Jekyll into Hyde, but that happens rarely. The situations have to be so in an extreme way that I will lose my temper, totally gone out of the window, before things like this, trashing something, or raging, screaming to everyone. Did that happen? Let me see. Yeah, it was a rage fit, because someone else was raging because he was my friend. Is he my friend? As long as I'm not a believer, I cannot call him friend. And I'm not naming him. He's my neighbor. I try to convince him about the gospel. It takes time. He totally distanced himself. People believe in evolution, but I believe evolution is not really evident, even though we have some signs on our body, like the brain tooth that needs to go out because it has developed during our evolution. Really, aren't we made perfect by God? Come on. We've been made that way. And maybe, indeed, we have evolved a little, but not from an ape. People back then, back in time, were more developed than we are now. That is true. You know, it is our sinful flesh that becomes weaker during time, especially during millennia and centuries. We get more of this and less of muscle mass, lean muscle mass. Yeah, that's why. Can you imagine Noah building the ark every day for how long? Years? Before everything can fit into the boat? Can I imagine doing that? Man, it takes someone who's really strong, who can even turn more than 100 years, even more than 800 years, growing in age. These were totally different human beings than that we are now, okay? But it does not mean that we are coming from the apes. That's true, is it? So they needed that brain tooth to chew more, because they needed more. Well, they needed to chew more to get more work done. And I guess that Noah was stronger physically than we are. And even Adam, turning from immortal to mortal. What kind of shock must that have been for him? Think about that for a moment. Yeah. I have some chit-chat during my sessions. So what are my plans for today? I breakfasted at my Nutritia Compact together with an egg so that my insulin does not rise with it, so that it flattens the curve while getting my nutrition. I heard that carbohydrates will not spike as high as you get jittery if you combine it with fat. And if you want to undo some carbohydrates, you need to add dietary fiber to get your netto carbs, carbohydrates. That's why they call it net carbs. What you keep in netto, it is carbohydrates, maybe 5 grams. 2 grams of dietary fiber is 3 netto carbs, net carbs. That's how you calculate it. And you can furthermore do it by adding fat to flatten the curve. You eat strong, you get strong, and you stick to a whole food kind of diet. And after all that cancer is gone, I stick to that diet. I will not go back to my old lifestyle. Oh, may God forbid and lead me. I'm dependent on Him. Hi, you guys. I was doubting, should I make a sequel to my day 6? No. This happened to me, not negative. You can rest assured it turned out to be positive. You know, let's talk about being dependent on God for today and what the benefits can be. I want a witness. There's a great benefit in following Jesus. And that's also the act when you believe on Him, that you should mature upright. Well, it can happen to a true believer. Yeah. Being fully dependent on God is God's ultimate will. We are His children, and He's our Father. Now, the only thing that God can give is give. The only thing that we can do is receive and trust. So what happened for today was, I was in a situation where I was asking for something and somebody else rebuked me for something that I shouldn't have done. That's clear. My mind went from 180 to 180. That means first I wanted to neglect the one who rebuked me and go my own way again. Then I hear them say, the Lord, of course, remembered me to love those who hurt us, to be good to those who hate us. It doesn't mean that they hate us, truly. But in your mind, the devil may trick you and makes you believe that a person is hating you, but that's not true. So what happened today? I was tired being led by my flesh. Period. I just want to mature up. I thought, let's put these things into practice. So I did. And I was forwarded a scripture that said, happy are those who put these things into practice. That's Jesus' words. And I know it's true. At first, the Lord instructed me to go to that home from where that person lived. I didn't want to go first, but then I said, okay, let's trust this and put things into practice. Maybe that will change that person's mind. I don't know why the light is blocking when I... Oh, it's... yeah, okay. Because I'm having my phone there, that's better. Oh, the world is full with distractions. Even my phone. I don't want to hold back things of the kingdom and how they manifest in the real realm and what we see, hear, smell, touch. It happened that I want to have some lentils for my birdies because I'm running out of pigeon feed. But that person rebuked me like, you cannot take the lentils because it's meant for man to eat, not for the birds. So I was a little bit upset, like, why would you that? And I told to myself, you know what? Let's do good. Let's not respond evil with evil. And I hoped by doing good, that person would change his or her mind. But after all, what happened was I arrived there. I put that stuff all in the fridge. I mean Linda's meal. And she came out and she instructed me once again that the lentils are meant for man to eat. I have bird seeds. I have good pigeon feed. I was dumbfounded. It turned out that I had to change my mind, not hers. So it turned out that she's a pigeon keeper too. The Lord is leading. I am not in charge here. Neither does she. The Lord is. I went home with a bottom of a bag, more than I wanted. What I truly needed was more important than what I wanted. So it was a blessing that I didn't even see it coming. Because I was so tired of listening to my flesh that I couldn't help it to break free from it by the grace of the Lord. It's true happiness that followed all my way back to home. I kept on praising God with gladness. And I'm so happy that I was listening, no matter where the road was leading me. So it's a good day on day 6 on chemo. I did not listen to my flesh. I was tired of listening to my flesh because it leads to destruction. And I don't want to be part of that. Nevertheless, we all die. So it's good to be a follower of Christ next to trusting Him. And you know what? That path is even better than my own path. It's good to be sailing in the Lord's arm. That's how I feel. I danced this evening, really danced on psytrance. It's one of my favorite music. First I wanted to listen to some praise or worship songs. But then suddenly my mind changed from that to psytrance. How quick we can change our mind. We repent every day. But that psytrance showed me that the Lord's strength is also in control. I danced for at least half an hour, maybe an hour. I did the best moves and I thought, where does that come from? It must come from God. There's no other different way. Elena. Here we go again. I thought that the old classes were teasing me. The new ones too. Wow. That's an extension of day 6. So I keep it in as short as possible. Remember what I said about the video. I had one like in the meantime on that video with the pigeons. They are also included in my family. The Lord tamed them for me. Because He always said it in the beginning, you're rewarding them too much. If you want to have your birds tame, don't reward them too much. And by the way, they can find food from the wild. They eat bird grass, like these little grainy things that are growing between the grass, meant for the pigeons to feed from. That's their original food, actually. Not grain, like we give them. They feed on grass. Yeah, that's the original food. We have made it into a problem because we became pigeon feeders, and we started to love that type of flock. And we turned these pigeons into super pigeons. I don't know. The Lord knows. But maybe this can be true. I still love them. They are adorable and I want to do everything. But I need to remember myself always to listen to the Lord instead of my own. It has great benefits. And the Lord has the same plan with you. Not just to keep you saved only, but also to mature you. Don't compare the Lord's instructions with religion. Religion always says do to be saved. Do to be saved. While God says do this because you are, my child, saved forever and ever. But I want you to mature. I want you to know me. I want you to be dependent on me. I want you to trust me. Right? That's what He does, because God's nature is to give. It does not change that. Now I tell you one secret. Why is our faith counted for us righteousness? Because Abraham believed God and was accounted to him for righteousness. And then Jesus said, indeed, He's the same. He is God. He said, unless you humble yourself and become like one of these. He picked a child or two as an example. You will in no wise enter into the kingdom. This means to be dependent on God, means to be righteous, imputed righteousness, because you depend on God. You trust God. How you cannot be dependent on God when you don't trust Him, right? And if you are dependent on God, that makes you His child. And that's why righteousness comes by faith, not of works. You know why Jesus was crucified and why Satan was tricked by the law? They wanted to accuse Jesus by the law. But Jesus always told everyone to just believe. That's it. Believe. Jesus was crucified because of the law, because of all the accusation, but it was meant to happen. It was meant. In Hebrew we say b'sheret, meant to happen. And Judas, why did you betray Jesus? You should have trusted him. But, you know, these things were meant to happen because they were written beforehand. Have I not chosen one of you 12, but yet one of you is the devil? And I am doing this because the scriptures have to come to pass. Now, accused by the law, well, Jesus was dependent on our Father the whole time and kept everything perfectly. And yet they accused him by breaking the Sabbath, healing on the Sabbath. You know, legalism cannot win. If grace wasn't there, how can we live? How can a man live without grace? It's impossible. Man, I feel like I should now close the video. It's not because I want to close the video, because I believe God said it's time to shut the video down. That's all I had to share, otherwise it will be a long mumbling, jumbling video. It's not what I want. Maybe God wants our message to be short and strong, instead of long and boring. So let's do it. I'll see you then next day. Bye for now. By the way, this will be part 3 next time. This is the end of part 2. Bye for now.